Paul, yes. You know, trust is such an important concept, isn't it? Yeah. Most of the people I know can be trusted. Civil rights coordinators, obviously, if they know about fraud and forgery. Yeah. Kidnapping, child abduction, and child neglect. I should have trusted all of them. But you can't, can you? Well, why would you be in government if I can't trust you? See, I would have thought that this actual assessment that you obligated me to have to do, yes, I would have liked the results of that. Now, number 9 says, sometimes I cannot remember who I am, and I put false. I remember who I am. Ooh, I'm the name responded in court orders. Yes. I'm the individual that you arrested when you had the evidence that I didn't commit any crimes. I do remember who I am. Do you remember who you are? Do you have a badge on? Do you know who you are? Now, I know that you didn't give me any notice of court hearings. Yes. I know that you took my sons. Phew. You arrested me when sending all my pertinent court documentation to a sanctuary. Ouch. I know that the pastor there, yes, does not like me. Oh, he sent me a text message saying that if I contact himself right now, are you going to obstruct my right to sue those that are legally liable for all the pain and suffering I've experienced for the last 7.5 years? See, we weren't a resident of the state of Washington. We weren't a resident. Now, I know that you want to say that this mental health evaluation, yes, is to be included whenever I apply for rental assistance, but the truth of the matter is it was fraudulently obtained because you arrested me, yes, for the 2-count criminal complaint in Jefferson County when you had the actual evidence that I wasn't in Brennan, Washington. And then Brady decided that law enforcement had no obligation to exonerate the accused. So I can sue the state of Washington for obligating me to have to do community forensic evaluations. Yes, because the law requires law enforcement. So are you going to do what citizens should trust you to do? Oh, or are you going to continue to obstruct the laws of the United States so you don't get sued and you don't go to prison? Now, this is a very, very big deal because the state of Washington, yeah, they're getting sued. Yes. Each and every individual that I emailed wanting to know, well, what's this about? They thought that they didn't have to protect the rights of citizens to not get arrested for failure to appear to court arraignments. Yes, because the county would not change my address from the sanctuary to homelessness. And you thought that I didn't have to trust you, that you would serve me right now. You're getting sued for this. Pooch. Does the state of Washington? Well, we looked at Brady. Let's look at some more pictures because it looks like that you just are going to violate all the laws of the United States. You just can't be trusted. Now, I know when there's an honest, I know when you make an honest mistake, and then I know when you try to destroy somebody's life. See, these vows, yeah, I've been very careful not to vow before God. Yes. Says something in there about let your yes be yes and your no be no, and just do what you say and don't make vows. Now, I'm going to sue this state for obligating me to do all these assessments because the police department, yes, would not admit the evidence that I wasn't in Brennan and I have not been cyber stalking. Oh, now there could be quite a bit of money in this. Okay. Now let's see here. Some pictures. Ooch. Let's go over Brady again. Phoop. Now there's still 81 of them in here, and maybe you didn't get the email from this last weekend where, ooch, look at all of these. Do you remember this? Pooh, all these lawsuits that you decided you were going to obstruct me from being able to do. See, disclose not only the evidence possessed by prosecutors, but evidence possessed by law enforcement as well. I've been wanting to sue all of those in law enforcement. Now, did you want to admit the evidence today that I wasn't in Sequim, Washington? And then did you want to remove your dismissal because of my incompetence for knowing who I am and where I was? And then there's the Jefferson County court hearings right now. Did you want to remove your dismissal because of incompetence? Because you did find out that I wasn't in Brennan. Poop. I wasn't in Quilcene. Yes. And I was not contacting the petitioner by a third party. When did you want to do what the law says so that I can say, well, you as law enforcement had within your possession the actual evidence that I didn't commit any crimes. Now I'm wanting to do those lawsuits today. Oh, look at United States District Court for the District of Columbia. Pursuant to Brady versus Maryland. The government has a continuing obligation to produce all evidence required by law and the federal rules of criminal procedure. CID 373 U.S. holding that due process, that civil right that you seem to think that is not enforceable in the United States of America, requires as disclosure evidence that is material to either guilt or to punishment upon request. Yes. Or holding that the obligation to disclose includes producing evidence known only to the police department that I emailed on June 16th of 2017. Now, let's say you're sitting there and you decided that I can't trust you because you just won't admit the evidence because there's no way, there's no way